Chiang Mai, a spiritual city where thousands of people pray every day, but rarely together. What if, instead of just passing each other by, we decided to meet, not to debate, not to convert, but to listen, to observe? In 2022, through Payap University, Dr. Ray launched a series of visits to our religious neighbors: a mosque one Thursday, a Wat the next, a Baha'i center, a church later on. Fascinating encounters, but something was missing. We visited each other, but then we'd each go back home. So Ray and I imagined something different. What if, instead of going back and forth, we traced a path together? We needed to give physical meaning to the word interfaith, a pilgrimage where we walk together from one sacred place to another, and at each stop, we enter the tradition of that place, like pilgrims. With Payap University, we organized 3 pilgrimages, open to all. We were 15 in January 2025, and nearly 60 by September. Now you might be wondering, what even is interfaith? Is it some new religion? A sect? Oh, like 3-in-1 coffee that mixes everything essential? Not at all. Interfaith isn't even a noun, it's an adjective. We talk about interfaith dialogue and interfaith pilgrimage. No one gives up their beliefs, we simply add openness. Everywhere we went, we asked to pray together, following the tradition of the place we visited. Yes, because when in Rome, do as the Romans do. We prayed at the Sufi mosque of Al-Jamaya, received blessings at the Buddhist temples Wat Haimongkol and Wat Ketkala. At St. Vladimir Orthodox Church, Father Pavel prayed for us, and miraculously, gestures of friendship unfolded, unplanned, unexpected. At Sacred Heart Cathedral, the Catholic Focolare community welcomed us and shared how they came to Chiang Mai, invited by Buddhist monks.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses.
Ajahn Jirachai even told us he knew the church well. He'd gone to the Catholic school next door as a child. See, religious communities are already connected. We prayed with the Baha'i community, for whom all religions share the same purpose: to guide humanity through a divine plan unfolding over time. We prayed in a cemetery, honoring ancestors, a deeply Asian tradition. At the graves of Chiang Mai's first Protestant missionaries, whose legacy gave birth to Thailand's first private university, Payap.
Perseverance and faith.
Now, you might ask, why walk when we could just take taxis? Because walking is the best way to really be together, to talk, to listen, to the rhythm of our steps. All over the world, people walk to connect with the sacred. But our pilgrimage has no finish line. Our inspiration? Why Pra Khao Wat, the local tradition of honoring the Buddha in 9 temples in a single day. We do it same, but different. We connect different faiths to celebrate the spiritual mosaic of our city. At Al-Taqwa Mosque, Teacher Pam prayed in the Muslim tradition, and something incredible happened. As we focused on her, it was as if we were praying through her. Professor Leonard Swidler, a pioneer of interfaith dialogue in the 1980s, defined 3 key rules. Be sincere and honest when you enter the conversation. Trust that the other person is also sincere and honest. Yes, even if they believe differently. Listen and be willing to learn from them. At the Sikh Gurudwara, after Frank prayed for us, he asked us to pray for him, a beautiful act of interfaith trust.
I would appreciate if you could give blessing to me also and to anyone also.
We inspire each other. We saw faith in action at All Saints, an Anglican church founded by Father Ian Baxter, who envisioned a spirituality open to all. Here, LGBTQ+ and straight people pray side by side in a traditional service, while the church supports underprivileged children and runs a refuge for trans people. Prayer here is alive because it translates into action.
At all times and in all places, whether in a garden or in a church or in a masjid or other places that we've been.
We listened to Pastor Buntawat talk about his fights for social justice, a very Protestant message. At the Chinese shrine, donations to ancestral deities are redistributed to the needy. The deities are content with the intention, and the sacred becomes a helping hand for the community. First Church, built by the earliest missionaries, is now a school. The teachers welcomed us warmly and prayed with us. Education comes first, and we are learning along the way. But does that mean everything's perfect? No. Interfaith encounters aren't not smooth sailing. They require compromise, adjustments, and sometimes we hit limits. Let's be clear. Total syncretism is impossible. Religious traditions don't fit together like puzzle pieces. And yes, we've made mistakes. There were moments when our good intentions bumped up against deep convictions. For example, a celebration shocked those who practice it differently. A gesture of respect toward another tradition was seen as betrayal. A heartfelt offering was taken as offense because it broke a strict spiritual rule. Some places of worship, seemingly open, keep their doors closed to those who don't share their doctrine. These tensions aren't failures. Interfaith dialogue isn't about fusion, it's about encounter, with its limits and its lessons. And that's why we keep going. We learn along the way. Because we realized our religions mostly highlight patriarchs and foreign missionaries, in our third pilgrimage, we chose to center local women's voices. In February 2026, we began at the Bhikkhuni temple in Doi Saket, where we learned that these fully ordained female monks aren't modern feminists. They follow a tradition dating back to the Buddha himself. They gave us something no other monastery had, not just a quick blessing, but full immersion in their daily chants. One participant told me this visit changed his understanding of Buddhism in practice, while another confessed that hearing women's voices in chanting for the first time gave it a new, deeper meaning. Along the way, we listened to local Catholic women who explained how their religious commitment came naturally, even in a country that's over 80% Buddhist. Later that day, we met a female guru who runs an ashram. Ordained as a Swamini in India, she's one of the few female gurus in Thailand. She taught us that Hindu women in history were never just background figures. They studied, debated philosophy, and challenged sages. These women revealed a deeper faith to us. Their place in the sacred doesn't come from modern feminism or the West, but from a tradition as old and legitimate as any other. We went further in this pilgrimage. We questioned what we thought we knew by confronting it with different perspectives. And I think, in the end, the Buddhists became better Buddhists, the Christians better Christians. We can hate what's different, another religion, another way of loving, a life that doesn't fit the mold. But when you meet the person behind that difference, when the abstract becomes a face, a voice, a story, hate dissolves in human connection. And maybe that's why violence explodes on social media, among those who never meet another's gaze, who never shake another's hand, because hating is easy when you don't see the other's eyes, but walking side by side, that's where walls fall. Let's end with a poetic note. We are all walkers in the same labyrinth, each with our own light, yet the same sky binds us. No one left converted, but all left changed. For to meet the other is not to abandon your path, but to return to it seen anew, deeper in your own faith, softer in your certainties,